Thank you very much. Let me first of all recognize Honorable Dr. McIntyre, the parliamentary representative for Morne Prosper, the Rosa Valley. My other cabinet colleagues who are here, Honorable Blackmore, Honorable Isaac, Honorable Blanchard, and Honorable Tong, the chairperson of the Morne Prosper Village Council and other councillors, and the clerk of the council. Especially invited guests, of course, we have the Chief Technical Officer in the Ministry of Public Works, Mr. Johnson. I want to thank him for being here so late. And in a special way, all of you, the residents of Morne Prosper, I want to wish you a good evening. And I'm very happy to be here this evening with you to witness the signing of 2 contracts for the construction of drainage works in the main village road. I was here on, as Dr. Mark indicated, on Saturday night, and I visited a few bars. I visited Timothy's Bar, my friend here. I also visited Medina Rose Bar and St. Rose, Medina St. Rose, and of course the famously known Big Mama, the Big Mama's Bar, and very happy to be here. But I know we are doing a substantial amount of work in this Rosa Valley constituency. And Dr. Mark indicated to you the extent of the government's investments in this constituency. Because, you know, sometimes people ask, or say rather, nothing is happening. Now, as of this afternoon, and we will add on it this evening, the government has signed, with work ongoing in the Rosa Valley constituency alone, contracts totaling over $23 million just for road works. Just for road works. I'm not even talking about scholarships we're giving to students from here. I'm not talking about transportation allowance we're giving to students from the constituency. I'm not talking about health support for people who have health issues. I'm not talking about small business money. I'm not talking about how much money we spent thus far, and we're going to continue spending more for housing, whether it's home repairs or new homes we're constructing in Rosa Valley. $23 million just for roads. And we're speaking here about, in Cochrane, $11.1 million. Work ongoing, not work or contracts to be signed. Work already started with contracts signed. Wharton Waven, $3.4 million with the construction of the new Bailey Bridge and the improvement to the access to the Bailey Bridge. $3.4 million. Coptal, which you, the residents of Morne Prosper, are major beneficiaries of because you drive through Coptal to get to Morne Prosper. $3 million with more to be spent. The excavation on Morne Prosper, you may not be seeing it when you're driving. You may be seeing little boulders, and some of you get inconvenienced because we have the equipment has to clear the roads because there is some erosion taking place. Just to take out tires from one spot to bring it to other spots, $3.8 million. And even when Dr. Mark came to me on advice from his ministry to do the excavation, and I said, well, why would you want to spend $3.8 million and why don't we do the surface of the road? But they told me you must do that excavation in order for us to ensure that there is continued access to the village of Morne Prosper. $3.8 million. And in Loda, $1.6 million, just for one intervention. And there'll be some other interventions in Loda going up to the this pond, this pool we have there, and other parts of Loda. So $23 million. The contracts will be signed here, which is part of a bigger project. First, we have to do the drains. So the first phase of this road reconstruction program inside Mount Prosper is to do the drains. And we're using 2 contractors from Mount Prosper, and we hope that they will use local labor from Mount Prosper, so every single dollar that we're spending will remain here in Mount Prosper to benefit the residents of Mount Prosper. So by the time, and of course, we have also approved some $16,900. There are some women farmers who have some road that they want to access their farms, and Dr. Mack has approved this, and we will start this concurrently with these drainage works that we'll be doing inside Mount Prosper. And I caution our citizens that ingratitude is something that we have to caution ourselves against as citizens and as Christian people. That whatever this government does, we're really just instruments doing it. We are vessels doing it. And therefore, whatever happens to our benefit, as small as it may be, or as big as it may be, we have to be grateful. Because a lot of people in this country behave as if we were never hit by Hurricane Maria. People asking, where this, where that. But they're not paying attention to what has happened and what is actually happening. And the question is to our citizens, what kind of example we as adults are giving to our children? I do not know anybody in Dominica who is able to provide everything for their children at the times they want it. Hurricane Maria came and destroyed our country. And this government has spent in excess of $140 million helping people just to fix their homes. $130+ million just to dredge rivers, to take out siltation and transport it somewhere else. But should we not do it? Or should we have not done it? And had we not done it, the recent experience we've had with this hurricane season, we would have had many parts of Dominica underwater. The Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And even when this government took the decision to bring in the equipment that's required when we did not have it in Dominica to dredge the rivers, we were criticized. But people now, thank God, are seeing the benefit of this decision by the government. And I challenge people. We were hit by Hurricane David. And Hurricane David was not as near as destructive as Maria was. Because I was a little boy in Vegas and I can remember Hurricane David. We were hardly hit in Vegas. Our homes were standing. A few trees fell across the roads, landslides and so on. But enough of the country was not impacted, by David as Rosa was. But with Maria, every single village in Dominica was impacted. And every single home, those of us who had concrete roofs, your windows went. Those of us who had wooden roofs, our roofs went. And in some cases, our homes were completely flattened by the hurricane. Yes, I'll be the first to admit that there's a lot more work to be done. But we cannot say with all honesty, as citizens of this country, that nothing has happened. And, you know, a lot of the monies that we have spent so far are monies that this government had of its own. Because the pledges we've received from the international community, the World Bank, the European Union, Canada, and etc., have not, with the exception of some of the funds from the European Union, have not landed in Dominica yet. So all what we've been doing, all of these road works, every single of the $23 million we're spending in this Roosevelt Valley constituency, plus the $336,000 which we'll commit here tonight with the drainage works alone, are local government funds. And let me tell you very sincerely, it is not your VAT money. Because people like to shout, it's my VAT money, my tax money. My friend, after this hurricane, your VAT money and your tax money is not enough to deal with the issues we have in Dominica. And in an unprecedented manner, not one single public officer has been sent home. Not one single public officer has not received his or her salary on time. And not one student who was studying at the time of the hurricane has had to abandon school because he or she cannot afford it. The government has stepped in and assisted the students studying in the city. And after the hurricane, we gave to students studying overseas over 17, we paid over $17 million of government money. So this government is the only, you can say what you want, the truth is the truth. And this truth cannot be disputed, that the only serious group of people who are interested in running the affairs of this country is this party and this government I have the honor to lead. And you know, people talk about, well, we're in opposition, we cannot help this, you can help us. I always tell people, I remember as a young boy that when this party was in opposition for 25 years, we brought doctors to Dominica. And Rosie would take the doctors from village to village. We used to bring the doctors on fishing boats from Marigallant and Guadeloupe, landing at Ansdime. And they would bring a whole set of medication. And we would go from village to village and to meet people at their homes and to provide medical services to them and give them medicine. We built preschools. We gave students uniforms. The first set of students, the ordinary working class people who went to study in the 70s after Hurricane David in 1979, were Labour Party scholarships. To lead a people, you have to love them. And you have to care for them. And it is not only about what you can give, it's about showing empathy, concern, that you may be able to help somebody, but at least the person sees that you care, you are listening, you are attentive, you came to see how they're doing. Now I've told people, I have seen in my time as Prime Minister, thousands of Dominicans one-on-one at my office, or when I have office days in the villages. And I challenge all those who I've met, whether one can step forward and say that I have ever asked them who they support. Never ask people who they support. I'm not interested in that because, you know, I don't do things with the preoccupation of getting a vote. If you want to vote for me because you think we're the best in Dominica and your conscience leads you, then vote for me. Though if you were to ask me, I think it's an error not to vote for me. And I say to people, and I say to us in Dominica, that the international community, those who have pledged support to this country after the hurricane, are not helping us because we were hit by the hurricane. And whenever I say that, people look perplexed, they look dumbfounded, they look like, what's Skerrit talking about there? They're helping us because we have articulated a vision for this country. A vision which they have bought into, which is essentially to create the world's first climate resilient nation. And even when in the early days we made that announcement, because if you recall, hurricane hit us on Monday night. I addressed on behalf of the country, the United Nations, this Saturday morning. So you understand how much time I had to think about the future of Dominica. And in all of this time I was homeless, because you know my roof went. But my preoccupation was about the welfare of the masses, of the citizens of Dominica. So the international community is with us because of an articulated vision and a plan that we have for this country. And I am satisfied that we will achieve our goals. Dr. Mack referenced the issue of Antrim. And some people criticizing, oh, the government is not doing anything for Antrim. The fact is, when we did the Canefield to Pokase section of the road, there was a contract for $35 million. Antrim was part of it. But Antrim, as you know, for decades now, many decades now, have been moving. So when we were about to fix that road, there was a slippage on there. And therefore, we couldn't have fixed the road in a manner which we had envisaged to fix it. But people are just looking for things to talk about. And never something that is geared towards uplifting people. What can we do together to make life better for everybody? What contribution can I make? Because, you know, it is easy for any one of us, every one of us here, anybody here or listening to me, to criticize. Easy to criticize. But it takes serious, sincere, committed people to join in and to work for the welfare of this country. So I'm very happy to be here this evening, and I wanted to be here this evening so we can really improve the condition of the road for you in Morne Prosper. But I give you the assurance and a public commitment that once we get these drains completed, we will start the first phase immediately, which is the surfacing of the road with a 6-inch concrete base. And if properly done, for good mix, you'll have a road for a very long time to come. And that road will also be lit with the solar lights you see that we are putting along the highway of Dominica. As a matter of fact, we will start the placement of these solar lights while the drains are being constructed. So by the time we complete the drains and the roadworks, the lights will already be in place to enhance the quality of life and the safety of the residents of Morne Prosper. I want to commend the council because the gentleman made the point that if we really want to see the real benefits to the extent that we should really be enjoying it, there must be a working relationship, a cordial working relationship between central government and the local authority. Yes. And I want to thank you for that because at the end of the day, my friends, let me tell you this, at the end of the day, you are the ones who are going to reap what you sow. Yes. You are the ones and your children who will reap what you sow. If you sow unity and working together, you will reap the bounty that will come by that. Yes. If you say you don't want government money, you don't want government this, then you are going to be the ones who are going to suffer from it and your children. So we are prepared to embrace, we are prepared to hold hands, we are prepared to work with anybody who is genuinely and sincerely concerned about the welfare of themselves and their fellow men and women. So we will continue to extend a hand of partnership and a hand of working together for your welfare. Let us not be stubborn about it. Let us not be indifferent about it. Let us understand, and you'll always, mark my word, there'll be people in this village and elsewhere who are going to criticize this ceremony tonight and say, what contract that, and so on and so long, and blah, 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 blah. You see, let me tell you, my friends, all of you here know the Bible better than me, All of you here know the Bible better than me. And if you're a Rastafarian too, with the Rastafarian teaching, even that, it speaks about that. Every religion speaks about that. That we always have to be positive. Yes, we always have to be constructive. Yes, and we always have to be grateful. Yes, so let us not curse what is happening here and what will be happening in the community. Because you are the ones who will benefit from it, my friends. So we give you the commitment to work together with you, free your power rep. I gave a firm commitment to ensuring that the roads are improved and that once we can stabilize the slope, we will start the reconstruction of the entire roadway up to Morne Prosper so that you can have an enhanced situation there. I think at some point I would like to come to talk to the farmers because you have some of the best vegetable and seasoning program here in Dominica. And I think we need to find ways to see how we can further support you to boost production and therefore boost the amount of money that you can make from your hard work. Especially, I am particularly interested in the women farmers, that we need to, Dr. Mark, give some special support to them. So I want to thank you for inviting me to be here. I'm happy to be here. I want us to be positive. I want us to be constructive. But before I leave, I want to say to you that the next 10 years of our existence in Dominica, we will see a new Dominica. We will see a new Dominica with a cruise ship village, with a new cruise ship port. And the intention there is to take the cruise passenger arrivals in Dominica to 1 million. You will see a new container port with all of the modern technology on this port. And I give you the assurance, Dominica will have its international airport. We are already on our way to the realization of having, in our country for the first time, a 5-star hotel. 5-star hotel. And many of these hotels are on stream. Several under construction. Jungle Bay will open in March, April of next year. Kempinski in 2019 as well. Marriott in 2019 as well. The Hilton in Salisbury has just started. They're pouring concrete, putting the foundations for the buildings. We should sign the agreement with Secret Bay for a major expansion of their properties in T-Bay in Portsmouth in the next couple of weeks. We also finalized an agreement. We have agreed to sell the land where the Public Works Corporation is to build a Marriott hotel of 130 rooms on that site. So, Dominica is on the road again, and Dominica is moving forward. But it's going to require the concerted commitment of all of us if we're to realize our dreams and our vision for a new, modern, resilient Dominica. And I challenge you, my dear brothers and sisters, to be positive, to be constructive. We will never agree on everything, but we can't disagree on everything. Anytime we disagree on everything, it makes no sense to engage ourselves in conversation, because the Bible warns us against that. And finally, when leaders and citizens and Christians criticize a nation coming together to pray together, we have to be careful with these people. And I do not want you in this country to make this about me. I'm the least of the apostles. This is not about Roosevelt Skerrit. Because at the end of the day, each of us must go before the throne of God. Each of us, not all of us going together, one by one. He shall call our name. And we all have to answer. And I'm saying to us that we have to be careful that we don't, because of political biasness, that we curse people coming together to pray, to worship, to say thanks. I mean, that's what politics is? I never know that. But I will pray for them. I will pray for them. Because, and in my prayer, I will say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing. And I can say with no fear of contradiction that every time I pray to God for something, He gives it to me. But I thank you for being here this evening. Let me say to the contractors, I have not met them, I do not know who they are. If they tell you the mix is aggregate, 2 buckets of aggregate, 2 buckets of sand, and 2 bags of cement, my brother, put the 2 bags of cement in the thing. Don't put one and think you get a good profit. At the end of the day, let us do the work to the satisfaction of all of us. Because if the mix is not good, the road will deteriorate very quickly. Okay? So, I am appointing tonight every resident of Mount Prosper as the road supervisor on that project. My friends, I am very happy to be here, and I wish you all the best, and may God bless you, and may God bless your families. Thank you very much.